Wrestling fans, what's going on, man? It's Black Couch Booking here with a brand new video. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. I promise you will not be disappointed. And if you're old to the channel, Couch Crew, what's going on, man? Hope you guys are having a great day today. Please follow me on Instagram at Real Black Couch Booking and please join my Discord. Link will be in the description down below. And last but certainly not least, please check out my Patreon. Give your boy a chance. The Patreon got exclusive content, unfiltered, uncensored, some great conversations, and the people are loving it. We got a lot of members thus far, and I would like for you to be a member as well. But today we have a very interesting topic. Shout out to my guy Affluential Sports who covered, the subject of nepotism in the WWE. Please go check out his channel because he got some great content over there, sports and other things related. Um, I want to give my take now. Because I think the IWC has an unfair criticism of nepotism in the WWE, and I think that they are weaponizing the term nepotism, just for their own personal opinions and gain, just like mostly everything that, happens with the IWC. It's a very toxic culture. We love wrestling, but we hate wrestling, and no one hates wrestling more than wrestling fans. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. If you disagree with me, please comment down below. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gatekeeping anyone's, comments and ideas as long as we're respectful, because I think I could really, change your mind or maybe give you something to think about. So I am now under the impression, and I've come to the conclusion that the only time people in the IWC really complain about nepotism, hate nepotism, want to go on this whole thing where you like a social justice warrior, whatever the case may be, is when it relates to someone that you no longer like, or it relates to someone who's become successful or was successful or is successful. Case in point, Jay Uso, right? I've never heard nothing about Jay Uso and Jimmy Uso as far as the nepotism thing goes until the Bloodline happened. Before then, they were top five greatest tag team of all time, one of the most entertaining tag teams. Everybody's rooting for them. They're so funny. They're so hilarious, blah, blah, blah. As soon as the bloodline started happening, that's when you heard whispers of the nepotism. And then as soon as Jey Uso started getting solo status and solo accomplishments, that's when the nepotism thing hit hard. And then all of a sudden, people remember, what family these guys are part of. They've been a part of the Samoan family forever. But I'll get more into that later. Trust me, because there's more to talk about with that. Charlotte Flair as well. I can't even argue with you if you want to go the nepotism route with Charlotte Flair. I really can't, but I would just say to think about this. People really didn't start to hate Charlotte Flair until she really leaned into being Ric Flair's daughter. When she was the NXT Women's Champion, when she was the last Divas Champion, and in the beginning of her run on the main roster, people weren't really talking about the nepotism thing. I would say it started happening when she got a lot of championships back to back, when she started getting inserted into the title scene, things of that nature. So if you're going to say nepotism for her, that's justified. But I do wonder if Charlotte Flair didn't lean into the Ric Flair gimmick and she stayed babyface predominantly for most of her career, would people still, go the nepotism route? Would people go the nepotism route if she didn't have 14 championships? And that's a really, really, is it 14? Yeah. That's a really, really big if. And I understand that. But do people call Lexis King a Nepo baby? Do people call Curtis Axel a Nepo baby? Nepo baby? Remember Manu, who was with the original Legacy? Did they call him a Nepo baby? Do people call Ted DiBiase a Nepo baby today? No, why not? Because they weren't successful. Well, Alexis King still has a story to tell, but the level of success dictates that. And with that being said, though, it also favoritism. Who is your favorite superstar? No one calls Randy Orton a Nepo baby. No one calls Cody Rhodes a Nepo baby. And let me backtrack. Let me not say no one because someone's gonna be a smart ass and say, I do. Okay, you're special. Good for you. Most people do not call Randy Orton or Cody Rhodes Nepo babies because they're their favorites. Like, genuinely think about that. Genuinely think about that. Are they not second, third generation stars? But I argue this, even if you did try to call them Nepo babies, you're wrong. And this is why you're wrong. Nepotism let me give you the perfect example of what nepotism is, right? You're at a company, you got the college degree, master degree, you worked hard all your life, blah, blah, blah. Someone's father owns the company. They hire their son, and their son has a high school diploma, but he has a position five times higher pay than you. That's nepotism. Randy Orton, father is Cowboy Bob Orton. However, Are we gonna act like y'all niggas? So a lot of the okay, let me not. Y'all hate when I generalize. Are we gonna act like a lot of people didn't know who the hell Cowboy Bob Orton was until he came out with Randy Orton during the Legend Killer stick spiel? A lot of people don't even know who Cowboy Bob Orton is or his accomplishments. Did he ever win a championship? Y'all are acting like Cowboy Bob Orton is a fucking five-time world champion before Randy Orton came. That nepotism shit does not apply to Randy Orton or Cody Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes, for as popular as he was and great as he was, Dusty Rhodes is not the sole reason why Cody Rhodes made it to WWE. In the sense that Dusty Rhodes didn't cause the events, you gotta let my boy in, man. I'm telling you, you know what I did for this company, blah blah blah. Dusty Rhodes didn't have the pull to do something like that. The Vince McMahon didn't even really respect Dusty Rhodes. Let's keep it a buck now. Vince McMahon saw Cody Rhodes at Dusty Rhodes Hall of Fame ceremony. Cody Rhodes did a phenomenal speech, and he had a good look to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was like, "Hey, I like that guy. That's your son, right? Your boy used to wrestle in high school. Let me talk to him." That's how Cody Rhodes got in. Now, Randy Orton was an asshole, and Randy Orton was getting in a lot of trouble. He went AWOL from the Marines or something like that, or the Army, I forgot, and he was in big trouble. He was down on his last luck. He didn't even want to be in WWE, but then his father said, "You know what? Let me see if I could call in a favor and try to get you out." Vince McMahon did that as a courtesy. He didn't do that because Cowboy Bob Orton is this legendary nigga that like the Ric Flair getting his kids, trying to get them into the wrestling business, understood. The Samoan family understood that. Yes, if you say that straight nepotism, I can't even really argue with you on that. But there are other people who y'all acting like their fathers, their uncles, their sister, whatever, whoever got them into business is some legendary niggas. And listen here, right? The Samoans. I'll give you this. You want the real Samoan nepotism? All of them don't benefit from nepotism. You know who Ava, the Rock's daughter, benefits from nepotism to a high degree. Why? Because she was given the opportunity to have a foot in the door. She was a wrestler/slash manager in NXT. It did not pan out, but she automatically got pushed to the forefront of becoming the next GM for NXT as a 20-something-year-old for NXT. That's nepotism because The Rock is on TKO's board. That's straight nepotism. You getting your family's foot in the door isn't nepotism. Nepotism is keep pushing, putting someone who doesn't deserve to be in the position to a high level position. Nepotism is putting someone in the door and then them succeeding because of who they are and who they know. The Usos didn't have to be a successful tag team. They almost wasn't a successful tag team. Think about this. Y'all are acting like Rikishi was the fucking GOAT. Do y'all understand that? Rikishi, what was it? What was he? Intercontinental champion, and that's it, pretty much. This man was dancing with Too Cool. I love Too Cool, by the way, but I'm just saying, y'all acting like The Rock is their father. They didn't have to be successful. They was almost about to go down the same route. They had the face paint with the weak ass shorts and the weak ass braids, and they was dancing the shit too with Tamina. So what are we talking about? A lot of these people that y'all screaming nepotism, they earned their position. Jey Uso got himself over with the Yeet stuff, and that's why they had to give him solo championships, solo stars, all these interests. It's because Jey Uso got over on himself. He didn't get over because he is Rikishi's son, just because he's a Samoan. Does them being a part of the bloodline and stuff like that give them high profile matches and give them more opportunities and chances? Yes, because these guys have multiple DUIs. There are certain individuals who, if they got in this type of trouble, they would not get the same opportunity, but that's another conversation. Randy was an asshole, got hella opportunities. Does him being Cowboy Bob Orton's son contribute to it? Barely. Randy Orton was just that talented. And this man was like, yo, I really want this guy. I know he could be good if he could just get his shit together. Randy Orton's different. Did that shit benefit Cody Rhodes when they turned him to fucking Stardust and he's doing cartwheels and shit? Hmm? Just like they put the polka dots on Dusty. That nepotism shit is select, so you cannot apply that to everybody. But I'm still gonna go with my point of you guys are applying that to people you don't like. At the end of the day, if Charlotte Flair was absolute garbage, she would not be a 14-time world champion. You cannot contribute her full success to her being Ric Flair's daughter. One, because Ric Flair has not always been in good standing with WWE and Vince McMahon his entire career. Let's get that straight. Just a couple of years ago, they don't even invite Ric Flair back to do anything. They could screw Charlotte over if they really want to. They got more women. But you can't because Charlotte's that good. Vince McMahon isn't even around anymore. Triple H don't gotta make Charlotte Flair and TKO. They don't gotta make her win the Royal Rumble. Ric Flair's ties aren't that strong in the WWE right now. So much so they had John Cena surpass him so they could get rid of him, get rid of that record that Ric Flair held because Ric Flair is a tarnished brand. Charlotte Flair is the Flair that WWE cares about now. Y'all don't want to have that conversation. Not her in general, but a lot of these second, third generation stars are have surpassed their fathers, uncles, grandpas, and stuff like that with popularity, or will surpass. Braun Breaker. If y'all say that Braun Breaker is only in the position he's in because he's a Steiner, you are crazy as hell. Scott Steiner was hated by the WWE. Triple H hated that motherfucker. Y'all act like Rick Steiner is a 10-time WWE champion, bro. Yes, foot in the door, but talent, consistency. Braun Breaker almost didn't even break out of NXT. They had to halt him going up to the main roster and put him with Baron Corbin to get some more runs with Baron Corbin. So what are we talking about? Braun Breaker earned where he's at right now, bro. He earned it for sure. Good image, got over with the fans. They so much so they didn't name him Braun Steiner. They named him Braun Breaker. They don't eat like only time they acknowledge his ties is when his uncle and his pop show up to the show to watch it. They don't really care about that. What are we talking about? He is going to be more successful than both of his uncle and his father. Mark my words. Oh, a better career, all of that, bro. A lot of these nepo babies and stuff, that's what got them in the door. Their talent that keeps them there. It's gonna keep pushing them forward. Natalia got in, Jim Neidhart's daughter, part of the Hart dynasty, Hart Family Foundation, blah blah blah. She's only what a two-time women's champion or something like that. What is she? I know she was Diva champion multiple times. She was SmackDown Women's Champion one or two times. She has longevity, a part of her career, but that's the only benefit that she's gotten from being a part of that family. Um, Bro, that was with Tyson Kidd when it was the Hart dynasty. Is that the British Bulldog son, Davey Boy Smith, DH Smith? Where's he at? Is Curtis Axel a Nepo baby? Is Curtis Axel where Curtis Axel at? But what are we talking about? To did Tamina get any benefit of being part of that family? She what benefit did Tamina get? Like like stop using that selective shit, bro. Anyway, and let's say this, bro. Who cares? These quote unquote nepo babies aren't taking nothing away from nobody else that's there. What is who Jey Uso earned his chance to be IC champ and world champ because he was selling, he was over with the crowd, and the crowd was interested. You always talk about business, that's how business goes, bro. Whose position did he take right where he's at right now? That didn't that just was so superior to him that they had the same momentum he had. Yeah, I know this is business, right? TKO, the nigga that sells shirts is the nigga they gonna push eventually. Look for Karrion Cross. Is Dominic Mysterio Nepo baby? Or is he not a Nepo baby because y'all like him? Is Dominic Mysterio not only reason why Dominic Mysterio is known to y'all because of Rey Mysterio? Yes, he's been training for years. Duh, I'm not an idiot. Yes, he's been doing storyline stuff since he was a little boy. Is that not nepotism? He basically been a WWE employee or destined for WWE since he was a little kid, like 8 years old with a PSP. Is that not nepotism? No, it's not because y'all like him. And I love Dominic Mysterio. I'm that's his example. Like I said, Ava, the Rock daughter, that's nepotism. Literally anybody else could have been a GM at NXT. You could have had Jamie Noble or Joey Mercury, who've been doing stupid security job for years, be the general manager. You could have had Jason Jordan be general manager. You could have had Tyson Kidd you could have anybody else be general manager. So we talking about nepotism, right? Like what are we talking about, bro? So when Brock Lesnar daughter go to WWE, Mark Henry daughter, there's so many more on the way, guys. That's a part of it. Do you not want familiar faces? Do you guys not want people with those ties? Because genetics is a thing. So genetically, even if they're not the greatest, they'll be mid at best, which is fine. Of course, we want new people, new stars who earned it, got it out the mud. But at the end of the day, those people still are successful. I don't think Seth Rollins has a father that's in WWE, or maybe I don't know. I don't think Austin Theory, when he was at the height of his success, Moxley, you know what I'm saying? I'm confused, right? Does Tiffany Stratton have a mother that I don't know about? Is Trish Stratus her mom? The quote unquote Nepo baby, it's very few and very select. The Samoans is a whole nother thing. You cannot be mad at that because if it wasn't for the Samoan family, the Rock's grandmother and grandfather, Vince McMahon would have never got a lot of the talent that he got. So even if Vince McMahon not there, they owe them for life. I don't know how that works. It's an unwritten rule, whatever the case may be. It's nothing we can do about that. Complaining about it is whatever. And what we're not about to do though. People are complaining about it because it started from the bloodline stuff to now. Really, before then, it really wasn't that much of a big deal. Roman was winning, yes, but that wasn't just because he was a Samoan. That's because Vince McMahon, for some whatever reason, really loved Roman Reigns and really wanted him to be successful. But that didn't make him successful. Roman Reigns could have fell off, bro. The Usos did not have to be successful, bro. But once they finally hit form, and I will say yes, them being part of that family gave them multiple chances, but once they finally hit their stride, it is justified for them having that many tag team championships. And it's not like they have the most. Don't the New Day have more than them? So what in the New Day, I don't think they got no fathers that's in the game. So what are we talking about? So that selective outrage for nepotism is really Charlotte Flair is the number one. The Samoans in general as a family is number two because there's so damn many of them. They keep coming into the business. I understand the frustration. I do because all of them are not the greatest. I will say that. But now Jey Uso, who's a face, now y'all mad at him and y'all talking about he's a Nepo baby and all that because he's successful now. But when he was a mascot eating with no title, he wasn't a Nepo baby. But now he a Nepo baby because he got the belt. Is Dominic Mysterio not a Nepo baby? I'm gonna say it again. Y'all don't say that about Lexis King. Y'all don't say that about Curtis Axel. Y'all don't say that about Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton because you like Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Y'all don't say that about Lexis King because he's not hella successful on the main roster right now. Do y'all say that about Santino Marella's daughter? Is that not a Nepo baby? Santino Marella wasn't the GOAT. He was a comedy gimmick. And his daughter got in because she has charisma and she can do things. She had a tryout and she's successful for whatever she does. She's not the damn queen of the ring. But is that not a Nepo baby? Like that's why that Tiffany and Charlotte program, when she said called her Nepo baby, it didn't hit because at the end of the day, Ric Flair, not Charlotte Flair, will always be better than Tiffany Stratton. Prime Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton didn't hit her prime yet. I'll give it a few years, but I don't see Tiffany Stratton ever being a better in-ring competitor than the Charlotte Flair character. Nothing. Obviously, it's too early to tell, but that's my opinion. Take away the Ric Flair stuff. Charlotte Flair was going to be Charlotte Flair regardless because she can wrestle. Has she had the best, most interesting stories? No. But if my dad, you're gonna be mad at Charlotte Flair because her dad's Ric Flair. What the fuck do you want her to do? Not wrestle? What's not use the name? She don't control that. Just call me Charlotte now. Don't call me Charlotte Flair no more. Just call me Charlotte. She can't call me Ashley. She can't control that. It's like the Samoans can't control every time the damn commentators point out that this motherfucker is a part of the Mavia and the Wahi Fatu dynasty. They can't control that. They literally have no control over that, brother. What do you want them to do? Like, why not take the benefit and benefit from it? I know I would. Would y'all niggas not, if y'all fathers own the company, would y'all niggas not go work for your father if it's a guaranteed job and you don't gotta work as hard as everybody else to get there? But then when you get there, you work hard and show that you belong there, which brings me to my final point. Y'all are talking about nepotism in WWE. The company is built off of nepotism. You do know that Vince McMahon Sr. was running WWE before the WWE, and then Vince McMahon had to buy the company from his own father because his father wouldn't even take his ideas seriously or give it up to him. But at the end of the day, Vince McMahon Sr. put Vince McMahon on his son. He made him work his way up to be an announcer, interviewer, referee, blah, blah, blah. but it's still nepotism. He didn't have to hire his son. He could have told his son to fuck off. Y'all talk about nepotism when the reality is wrestling is a family business built off of networks and connections. And you don't talk about nepotism. Shane McMahon. Is Shane McMahon a nepo baby? No. Why? Because he didn't inherit the company. Is Shane McMahon not a nepo baby? Shane McMahon had to work his way up just like Vince did. Interviews, actually was wrestling people, had a little bit of power in WWE, fake GM, all that type of stuff, but he didn't even inherit his own father's company. His father didn't even let him run nothing. Stephanie McMahon as well. She was actually doing important things, but I'll use Shane McMahon as the example. Are they not Nepo babies as well, or are we tripping? When Stephanie and Triple H's daughters and Shane's son start wrestling, are they not gonna be Nepo babies? Or are they fine because y'all still like Stephanie and Shane? Well, I don't know if y'all like Stephanie right now, but y'all love Shane. Y'all want him to come back so bad. So his kid's not gonna be Nepo babies. Or the Von Erichs, even in AEW, they don't gotta be WWE. Are the Von Erichs not Nepo babies? Oh no, because they family wasn't popular. Y'all like the movie? Okay, cool, cool. Okay. But I just want y'all to be objective. Those are my points. That's my opinion. If you disagree, fine. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts and opinions are. I just think we need to start with the conversation in general because I really don't have a problem with nepotism. If you mad, blame your parents. At the end of the day, but and regardless, some talent is undeniable, bro. Even though there's somebody sitting across from you, they didn't work as hard as you, and they got where they got because of their family. You can still outshine them and overcome them. It's going to be harder. It's going to be more difficult, and sometimes you get screwed, but. Nothing Roman Reigns could have done prior to the Bloodline stuff could take him, you know, overshadowing Seth Rollins. He might have got more championships or whatever the case may be, but we all know who was better, and Seth Rollins still was eating regardless. You understand that? And then even if you have nepotism, that doesn't mean you're going to be successful. Cody Rhodes made Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is 10 times more popular than Dusty Rhodes now. Randy Orton is 50 times more popular than his grandfather and his father. No disrespect to them, but he is. So what are we talking about? Braun Breaker will be 50 times more successful than his uncle and his father. Roman Reigns is 50 times more successful than his pops and his uncle. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, 50 times more successful than Rikishi. And so Sikoa will be as well. Trust me. It's not over. Jacob Fatu, people don't even know who Jacob Fatu fathers and uncles and family are. He's not 50, he's 10 times more successful than them now. Will Zilla be more successful than Umaga when he eventually makes it to WWE? We'll see. It's possible. I think so. I think he's good enough. And I think he does deserve to be in WWE because Zilla is actually good. Zilla Fatu is actually good. So he's not just gonna come just because he's Umaga's son. He's actually really, really good. But that's my opinion. So like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for love support as always. Hope you guys are enjoying, the uploads thus far. May you subathon. Hope you guys enjoying the month. And I'm about to go chill, man. I've been working hard this morning and I got some exclusive Patreon content coming out as well. So make sure y'all guys click the link in the description down below. Join whatever tier, it doesn't matter. You will get the video. So that's all that really matters. Peace.